Hello all, and in this video I will talk about a safety feature out of the Siemens Press Safe Block Simatic S7FP, and in this case it will be the operator mode selection. Okay, since I am doing a big hydraulic press, I did buy the press safety library. This is a separate library containing lots of different safety function blocks. You can see those in the library on the left side. How I install this library, I would probably make a different video about that, but either way, in order to have a safe operator mode switch over, I mean, what is an operator mode for? You need an operator mode for different kind of skilled people. Let's say if you make a die change or a product change, you have a trained personnel operating the press, and this trained, well, like I said, this need to be a trained personnel. And once this switchover or this die work is done, then you got only the operators on the press, and then you change over from like a setup mode to a active operator mode, which you can see on this block itself. You got a operator mode setup active, and then you got a operator mode 1 through 6, which can contain like a single cycle or single stroke, an automatic, like a continuous run with some feed, with some coil line. So you can put that all in this individual operator modes. And also it needs to be sure that only one operator mode is selected. So this is what that whole block is for. And if you look in the documentation for the library, I will also put this for a download. Let's see, where is the operator mode select? I think it's this one here. There is an explanation how that whole thing works. I don't know. I probably will not go through that right now. I will just show you how it works. So in order to select the individual modes, I um, hooked up this operator mode switch to an input card where I select the boards, so 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's in here where we have, or where I change the parameters from the inputs. Since it's not dual channel, you need to select the sensor evaluation to 1 out of 1. So only one channel at the time is active, and it's not redundant like an e-stop or a safety gate or light cordon or things like that. So I did hook it up to the input bit 0 and 1. So let's just change those I/O tags. Why don't they show up? Let's change those I/O tags to operator mode 1. I'm online again, so you can only change names offline though. This is OPM1, operator mode 1. This is OPM2, operator mode 2. And let's just connect them to the to that operator mode switch, which I already did. You can see that here I got the operator mode 1 already and the operator mode 2. And in the description, it says we need TDC as high, so the press need to be on TDC. This is one precondition, and I think we need the drive standstill also high. So what did I do here? I have this high and this high, yes. Okay, so this is pretty much it. And then there is a discrepancy time if we have like two inputs on at the same time, we will get a fault. So I set this discrepancy time to 100 milliseconds, and let's go ahead and download that. Okay, so put on the glasses and we will see we got the operator mode 1. The input for operator mode 1 is high, that's the 5100. The input for the operator mode 2 is low, and we got true here. And if I change the inputs, the operator mode will change here. And let's say just for like any precondition, I mean, it probably doesn't really make sense in a technical way now, but let's say this output that we make for our e-stop, the one up here, that should be on only in operator mode 1, just for the safety when the die changer or whoever is on there. So let's just put another normally closed in there and put the operator. Oh yeah, we need to create a 2 bits in the safe DB that we have. So let's say OPM1 selected, and OPM2 selected. And I just came up with a better idea, because let's say for the operator mode 1 we need the die setter or the skill trait inside the machine, and because he is skilled, he's properly trained, so he's allowed to do that. So let's go ahead and say with operator mode 1, can I delete that somehow? With operator mode 1, the door can be open. So let's put that door, come on. So let's put a normally closed in here, slide that over and say save e-stop dot OPM1 selected. This means the door can be open, and we put this on our selector switch, which is down here, OP1 active, and say OK to download. So this means basically there is a key switch which the key must the skilled operator must have the key on him, well, whatever. He must have a key, and only he can change the operator modes. So later on, when the not skilled trait is on the machine, it will be switched over to operator mode 2, and the door must be closed at that time. So now if we go ahead and put on our glasses and say, now the operator mode 1 is active. We are allowed to have the door open with all the e-stop being set, and the door is open, so the how I don't find the right word. Hang on. So the setup personnel, can go inside the machine with the gate open, and this is um, how the operator mode is supposed to be working. And now let's assume this setup guy is done, and the normal production operator takes over on the machine. Then we switch over to the operator mode 2, which we don't have a bit yet, but you will see if we switch that over, the operator mode goes off, and and now the door needs to be closed in order for have the motor on. So let's close the door. Okay, let's close the door, and then we can see our motor is on, and if the door opens, it cannot work anymore. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and contact me. Yeah, this is the explanation on the necessity of the operator mode selection, and therefore I used a Siemens CPU 1500F with Siemens TR Portal V20. Thank you for watching.